Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine and enjoying your studies. So students, today we will start our new chapter. Our chapter is from Geography book from class 9th. Chapter name is Population. So students, can you imagine a world without human beings? I think we can't imagine a world without human beings because human beings is very important factor for the earth and the world. So students, next, who would have utilized resources and created the social and cultural environment? Human beings are very important. He utilized our resources because our nature gives us very much resources and they all are utilized and used by us. And students, our social and cultural environment is also created by human beings. If human beings are not present in this world, so who will create our cultural and social environment? So human being is very important resource. Students, healthy, educated and motivated people are very important for us. So students, today in this chapter, we will discuss about population density, population change and sex composition and national population policies. So students, shall we start our chapter? Let's start. Students, the people make and use resources and are themselves resources with varying quality. Coal is but a piece of rock until people were able to invent technology to obtain it and make it a resource. Natural events like a river flood or tsunami becomes a disaster only when they affect a crowded village or a town. Human beings are producers and consumers of Earth's resources. Therefore, it is important to know how many people are there in a country, where do they live, how and why their numbers are increasing, and what are their characteristics. The Census of India provides us with information regarding the population of our country. Students, I will tell you very important information. A census is an official enumeration of population done periodically. In India, the first census was held in the year 1872. The first complete census, however, was taken in the year 1881. Since then, censuses have been held regularly every 10th year. Students, we are primarily concerned with three major questions about the population. First is, how many people are there and where are they located? Second is, how has the population grown and changed through time? Third is, what are their age, sex composition, literacy levels, occupational structure and health conditions? So students, I will start our new subtopic, population size and distribution. India's population size and distribution by numbers. India's population as on March 2011 stood at 1,210.6 million, which account for 17.5% of the world's population. These 1.21 billion people are unevenly distributed over our country's vast area of 3.28 million square kilometer, which accounts for 2.4% of the world's area. You see figure 6.1. In this pie diagram, this shows the India's share of world's area and population. So students, the 2011 census data reveal that Uttar Pradesh, with the population size of 199 million people, is the most populous state of India. Uttar Pradesh accounts for about 16% of the country's population. On the other hand, the Himalayan state Sikkim has a population of just about 0.6 million and Lakshadweep has only 64,429 people. Almost half of India's population lives in just 5 states. These are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. Rajasthan, the biggest state in terms of area, has only 5.5% of the total population of India. You see here in figure 6.2, in this figure, this shows the distribution of population. Students, next is India's population distribution by density. Population density provides a better picture of the uneven distribution. Population density is calculated as the number of persons per unit area. India is one of the most densely populated countries of the world. Students, do you know only Bangladesh and Japan have higher average population densities than India? The population density of India in the year 2011 was 382 persons per square kilometer. Density vary from 1102 persons per square kilometer in Bihar to only 17 persons per square kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. Rugged terrain and unfavorable climatic conditions are primarily responsible for sparse population. Assam and most of the peninsular states have moderate population densities. Hilly, dissected and rocky nature of the terrain, moderate to low rainfall, shallow and less fertile soils have influenced population densities in these areas. The northern plains and Kerala in the south have high to very high population densities because of the flat plains with fertile soils and abundant rainfall. Students, here you see in picture figure 6.3 density of population in India. In this map, you see here red color shown high density of population states. Here we find 1001 and above persons per square kilometer live in West Bengal and Bihar, and dark green color shown low density of population 250 and below. West Bengal and Bihar has highest density of population. Students, now we discuss population growth and processes of population change. Population is a dynamic phenomena. The numbers, distribution and composition of the population are constantly changing. This is the influence of the interaction of the three processes, namely births, deaths and migrations. Population growth. Students, what is population growth? Growth of population refers to the change in the number of inhabitants of a country during a specific period of time, say during the last 10 years. Such a change can be expressed in two ways, in terms of absolute numbers and in terms of percentage change per year. The absolute numbers added each year or decade is the magnitude of increase. It is obtained by simply subtracting the earlier population from the later population. It is referred to as the absolute increase. The rate or the pace of population increase is the other important aspect. It is studied in percent per annum. Example, a rate of increase of 2% per annum means that in a given year, there was an increase of 2 persons for every 100 persons in the base population. This is referred to as an annual growth rate. India's population has been steadily increasing from 361 million in 1951 to 1,210 million in 2011. Table 6.1 and figure 6.4 reveal that from 1951 to 1981, the annual rate of population growth was steadily increasing, which explains a rapid increase in population from
361 million in 1951 to 683 million in 1981.
Since 1981, however, the rate of growth started declining gradually. During this period, birth rates declined rapidly. Still, 182 million people were added to the total population in the 1990s alone. It is essential to realize that India has a very large population. When a low annual rate is applied to a very large population, it yields a large absolute increase. Students, the declining trend of the growth rate is indeed a positive indicator of the effort of birth control. Despite that, the total additions to the population base continue to grow. and India may overtake China in 2045 to become the most populous country in the world. Now, we will discuss about processes of population change or growth. There are three main processes of change of population: birth rates, death rates, and migration. The natural increase of population is the difference between birth rates and death rates. What is birth rate? Birth rate is the number of live birth per thousand persons in a year. It is a major component of growth because in India, birth rate have always been higher than death rates. Death rate is the number of deaths per thousand persons in a year. The main cause of the rate of growth of the Indian population has been the rapid decline in death rates. Till 1980s, high birth rates and declining death rates. The third component of population growth is migration. Migration is the movement of people across regions and territories. Migration can be internal, which we call within the country, or international, between the countries. Internal migration does not change the size of population but influences the distribution of population within the nation. Migration plays a very significant role in changing the composition and distribution of population. In India, most migrations have been from rural to urban areas because of the push factor in rural areas. These are adverse conditions of poverty and unemployment in the rural areas, and the pull of the city in terms of increased employment opportunities and better living conditions. Migration is an important determinant of population change. It changes not only the population size but also the population composition of urban and rural populations in terms of age and sex composition. The urban population has increased from 17.29% of the total population in 1951 to 31.80% in 2011. There has been a significant increase in the number of million plus cities from 35 to 53 in just one decade, that is 2001 to 2011. So here we discuss age composition. What is age composition? The age composition of a population refers to the number of people in different age group in a country. It is one of the most basic characteristics of population. Consequently, the number and the percentage of population found within the children, working age and aged groups are notable determinants of the population's social and economic structure. The population of a nation is generally grouped into three broad categories. First is children, generally below 15 years. Second, working age, 15 to 59 years. Third is aged people, above 59 years. Children are economically unproductive and need to be provided with food, clothing, education and medical care. And working age are economically productive and biologically reproductive. They comprise the working population. Aged people can be economically productive, though they and may have retired. They may be working voluntarily, but they are not available for employment through recruitment. The percentage of children and the age affect the dependency ratio because these groups are not producer. The proportion of the three groups in India's population is represented in figure 6.5. You see here, children are 34.4%, aged are 6.9% and adults are 58.7%. So next is sex ratio. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per thousand males in the population. This information is an important social indicator to measure the extent of equality between males and females in a society at a given time. The sex ratio in the country has always remained unfavorable to female. Table 6.2 show the sex ratio from 1951 to 2011. Students, do you know Kerala has a sex ratio of 1084 female per 1000 males. Puducherry has 1038 females for every 1000 males. while Delhi has only 866 females per thousand and Haryana has just 877 female per thousand male. Students, now I will tell you about literacy or literacy rate. Literacy is a very important quality of a population. Obviously, only an informed and educated citizen can make intelligent choices and undertake research and development projects. According to the census of 2011, a person aged 7 years and above who can read and write with understanding in any language is treated as literate. The literacy rate in the country as per the census of 2011 is 73%, 80.9% for males and 64.6% for females. Now I will tell you occupational structure. The percentage of population that is economically active is an important index of development. The distribution of the population according to different types of occupation is referred to as an occupational structure. Occupations are generally classified as primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary activities includes agriculture, animal husbandry, forestry, fishing, mining and quarrying. Secondary activities include manufacturing industries, building and construction work. And tertiary activities include transport, communications, commerce, administration and other service. Students, developed nations have a high proportion of people in secondary and tertiary activities. Developing countries tend to have a higher proportion of their workforce engaged in primary activities. In India, about 64% of the population is engaged only in agriculture. The proportion of population depends on secondary and tertiary sectors is about 13 and 20% respectively. There has been an occupational shift in favor of secondary and tertiary sectors because of the growing industrialization and urbanization in recent times. Next is health. Health is an important component of population composition, which affects the process of development. Death rates have declined from 25 per thousand population in 1951 to 7.2 per thousand in 2011, and life expectancy at birth has increased from 36.7 years in 1951 to 67.9 years in 2012. The substantial improvement is the result of many factors, including improvement in public health, prevention of infectious diseases and application of modern medical practices in diagnosis and treatment of ailment. The per capita calorie consumption is much below the recommended levels and malnutrition afflicts a large percentage of our population. Safe drinking water and basic sanitation amenities are available to only one-third of the rural population. These problems need to be tackled through an appropriate population policy. Health is important issue for adolescent population. So student, I will tell you about adolescent population. The most significant feature of the Indian population is the size of its adolescent population. It constitutes 1/5 of the total population of India. Adolescents are generally grouped in the age group of 10 to 19 years. They are most important resource for the future. Poor nutrition can lead to deficiency and stunted growth. But in India, the diet available to adolescents is inadequate in all nutrients. A large number of adolescent girls suffer from anemia. Their awareness can be improved through the spread of literacy and education among them. Now I will tell you National Population Policy. The Government of India initiated the Comprehensive Family Planning Program in 1952. The Family Welfare Program has sought to promote responsible and planned parenthood on a voluntary basis. The National Population Policy 2000 provides a policy framework for imparting free and compulsory school education up to 14 years of age, reducing infant mortality rate to below 30 per 1000 live births, achieving universal immunization of children against all vaccine preventable diseases, promoting delayed marriage for girls, and making family welfare a people-centered program. The last topic is National Population Policy 2000 and Adolescent. The National Population Policy 2000 identified adolescents as one of the major section of the population that need greater attention. The policy put greater emphasis on other important needs of adolescents, including protection from unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases, is called for programs that aim toward encouraging delayed marriage and childbearing, education of adolescents about the risk of unprotected sex, making contraceptive services accessible and affordable, providing food supplements, nutritional services, strengthening legal measures to prevent child marriage. People are the nation's most valuable resource. A well-educated, healthy population provides potential power. So student, now I will ask some questions. Now ready? Question number 1. What is the total population of India in 2011? Answer: 121.02 crores. Next question. After how many years is a census held? Answer is: census is held after every 10th year. Next question. What is the average density of population in India? Answer: 382 persons per square kilometer. Next question. Which states has the highest sex ratio? Answer: Kerala has the highest sex ratio. Next question. Which union territory has the highest sex ratio? Answer is: Puducherry has the highest sex ratio of 1038 females per 1000 males in 2011. Next question. What is the full form of NPP? Answer: NPP is National Population Policy. Next question. Which state has the lowest population density? Answer: Arunachal Pradesh. Next question. Which state has the highest density of population? Answer: Bihar. I hope you understand all the concept of this chapter about population density, distribution of population, and especially population process and population change. Because in this population change, our birth rate, death rate, and migration is very important.